Hello everyone, this is going to be just a quick video to show you guys how I was able to create the Skylands map that I got. So you will need to download this floating landmass mod that was created by Foxy Grandpa, and you will need to edit one file. So if you do not like to edit files, the mod will work. You won't get floating islands all over the place. It'll be sporadically throughout the map. You might get one here and there, and that's about it. So if you are okay with editing the files, you will need to track that down in the app data, roaming, vintagestory data, mods, floating landmass, assets, game, world gen, landforms. So once you have this open, the only thing that I touched was this weight right here and changing use climate map to true. Everything else, which there's a lot you can change, this is the only two things that I changed. This weight originally, I think it's set to like 2 or 5, so it's a really low number. This just how often you want the islands to be and how big they are, I think. So once you've changed that, which make sure you make a backup before you change stuff, just in case something happens. Then you'll save that, which you'll just open it in Notepad, change the value, save it. Make sure the save file is in here, not the backup that you make. Then when you hop into the game, you can just, as long as you have that mod active, you can just create a regular world. Everything else, you can just, whatever you want it to be. So like for me with the, where's it at? Block gravity, you can change that to soil with sideways stability if you want. The only thing that I will recommend changing is global temperature. Set that to hot, because that will raise the temperature on the Sky Islands to where it's not just always freezing. Kind of like how you can see in the background here. I don't know how to get that out of the way. But you can see how it's kind of not like true winter, but things have frosted over. It'll pretty much be like that on the islands all over the place. Unless that's something that you want. But we'll switch this to hot. Create a world. And it should just already have islands spawned in the sky. I do not know how this works on with other mods that change landscape or landscape generation, so you might have to mess around with that if it changes things dramatically. So the other thing is, there were a few times that I did spawn already on one of these islands. So if you are wanting to do where you start on the island, you'll have to go up here in creative mode and then just do the /game mode 1 to go back to survival. Unless you want to start down there and maybe have to scale up, because sometimes you will get, like how right there, how right here it's speed already got kind of like a mountain that connects to it. So if you want to scale your way, or maybe make a Tower of Babel that extends up into the heavens or something like that, but you most likely will not already spawn on one of these islands. And then it will have weird heights like this, how it goes up. Another thing that I want to point out is you can get halite pretty often that just spawns in columns like this. So that makes that at least a little easier to find. And then I have another map that I wanted to point something out because somebody asked about how ores work. And this isn't a every case basis, but I made a quick little map just to see if I could find ore in the floating landmass. And here's a little bismuth vein. So you can get ores to spawn, or ore veins to spawn in a floating chunk. So you don't have to worry about if you're only staying to a floating island that you're never going to find ore. It's going to be a lot more of a pain because you're just stuck on the floating islands and then having to worry about falling out the bottom. And then another thing that I wanted to point out is that this mod doesn't work too well with oceans. It'll still work, but I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, I'm slowly forgetting how I even made a water world. Been a little bit since I made one. I believe that's the settings that I used. Which I don't know why it does this even in the documentation or on the mod page. The author says it's something weird with the way oceans work. See if I can even find one. Actually, I think I did that wrong. Yeah, I gotta make sure this stays the same. Land cover can go down and scale can go down. Alright, well, give me a minute to make an ocean world, because I seem to have forgotten, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. So for some reason with the way oceans generate and the mod generates, it still makes the floating island, but it won't put it up in the air. So if you want a world kind of like this where you just have like these sheer cliffs that just drop off into the ocean, which the ocean, yeah, that drops down pretty deep. Let's see if we can get lantern, see how far down that goes. Yeah, so it's about the standard depth. But yeah, if you also want a world like this where You just have these giant, well, depending on what you made the mod set at, you probably won't have giant land masses like this, but just have your sky islands just resting on the ocean that just drop right off into the water. Here's another one over here. Yeah, I don't know why that's like that. Yeah, but this is another map type if you want to do something like that. But anyway, this is just a quick video to show you guys how I created the Skylands. I hoped it helped you out if you were looking to do something similar, and I will see you guys in the next video.